to do a presentation, and he will pass it to me after a short video. And we will also give you time, each and every one of you, if you have questions and you need to clear some things up, please feel free. This is informal, just, reach out and touch, and sort of like we're just sitting in our living room and we're talking and sharing with one another, educate one another. So with that being said, I want to go ahead and toss the script over to you, Ron. So you go ahead and do your presentation, and then I'll take it after that. Go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the call here. I'm just going to walk you through some things. Let me share my screen. The first step, let me get everything set up. Just to quickly introduce myself, my name is Ron Williford. I'm the president and founder of my company, which is Philadelphia Financial. We're a financial planning, investment, and tax planning company. I'm here tonight to talk to you about home-based businesses, how you can take advantage of having a home-based business. This event is actually sponsored by Innovative, which is a health and wellness company. And at the end, we will talk about that opportunity as well. So let's get started. The first thing is we have what's called a cash flow quadrant. Many of us may be employees where we work by the hour, we get paid by the hour, and we have an employer that pays us based on the time that we invest into that job. Or we can be self-employed, independent contractor, where you get paid 1099. You get paid, then you pay your own taxes, so to speak. Or you can be a business owner where you set up your own business. It's a leverage of your time. You create wealth and you grow your business. You have some type of system where you're actually growing your business. Or you can be an investor where you invested in a business and you're and using that business to generate some type of passive income or some type of residual income where you don't work, but the checks just keep on coming in. So you build a system that's going to allow you to not work and get paid hourly. And the way that this society is basically taught, we're taught you work 40 hours, you get paid 15 an hour. So for that week, you get paid $600. Imagine taking a look at money a different way. Let's say if you were able to make 60 sales and those sales were $50 per order, right away that week you've made $3,000. As an independent home-based business, you're able to work as many hours as you want per week. There's no cap on the amount of sales you can make, and there's no cap on the amount of money that you're able to make. So there's a difference in the philosophies. Either you work hourly, get paid by the hour, or you leverage your time in a completely different way by either selling something or having some type of system set up where you're able to receive residual income or some other means of building wealth. I heard a saying that says that when you make wages, it's a safety, secure job, but in order to get wealth, you got to make profits, and you make profits by having your own home-based business. So basically, there are different types of businesses. You have a sole proprietorship, a legal liability company, or more commonly LLC. You have an S corp, a C corp, and for some folks, they'll set up a nonprofit. With a sole proprietorship, it's a simple and most common way to form a business. It's unincorporated, typically owned by one person, and there's no distinction between the owner and the business. So therefore, if your business fails or there's some type of liability, you're automatically sued by that customer. So you have no legal separation from yourself nor your business. The next step would be to set up an LLC or legal liability company. The owners are not personally responsible for any liabilities for the company. It's what's called a hybrid entity. It's like a newer form of business. And the characteristics of the company are similar to a partnership or a sole proprietorship, except what you're doing, you're creating a legal veil that you're separating your company from yourself versus any liabilities. And in a lot of states, I'm in the state of Pennsylvania, you have what's called a single member. So you can be your sole proprietor, but then when you slap on the LLC banner, you form a whole different organization. This is, as I mentioned, one of the simplest ways to form a business. Then you have an S corporation. The S stands for actually small business. It's what's called it's pass-through taxation. Any income, tax deductions, credits, or losses are passed to all of the owners. So the owners receive either a profit or a loss, and then they're reporting it on their own individual tax return. And it's not, as I mentioned, taxed at the corporate level. Then you have a C corporation, which is actually a corporation. You think of yourself being that corporation means it acts just like an individual. So it legally separates the owner from the entity itself. The owners or the corporation has all the rights and responsibilities of an individual. The corporation can enter into a contract. It can loan and borrow money. It can even sue as a corporation. And typically when you start to hire employees, you might want to start looking at forming a corporation or C corporation, because then the corporation, as I said, acts as an individual. The corporation can own assets, and then the corporation does pay taxes. So the difference between a sole proprietorship and an LLC is that the sole proprietorship doesn't have that legal shield. You can operate the same way. Actually, you can be a sole proprietor and then apply for a fictitious name and get a tax ID number. The difference is that you don't have that shield. I know I'm in the state of Pennsylvania. The one thing, you can get a fictitious name. If it's not under an LLC, someone else can operate under your fictitious name. So you want to protect that with an LLC as well. So if you call yourself XYZ business, but you're not an LLC, someone else can come take the name of that business and operate and actually take your brand and take your whatever you've built up and use your name. So you got to be careful with, you determine which form of business that you want to use. And then you have what's called a not-for-profit. You can form a nonprofit. Under the IRS, you may have heard 501c3. That's the IRS code. Now with the not-for-profit, your mission has to be that you're furthering some social good. So you pick some good that you're going to promote and donate to, for example, maybe domestic violence or health awareness, whatever. So you contribute. The nonprofit, as it says, does not own the profit, and it donates to help fund goals or other objectives. You have to follow articles of incorporation with the state that you're in, and you also form a separate form with the IRS that gives you that exempt status. And then you also have to apply for your state so that they know that you're a not-for-profit or non-for-profit organization. So you have to decide on, you're doing business, what's the best way to form your business, the choice of the type of entity. And, the type of entity is really necessary. You got to determine a way, what type of liability you want to take on as far as your business, determine how you're going to pay your taxes, whether it's passed through or directly paying the taxes. You can also, as I mentioned, set up as a fictitious name without being an entity. The only thing is that someone else may be able to come and use the same name. And then you determine whether or not you're going to be a sole proprietor or you're going to have separate or multiple owners. And sometimes the easiest way to do business, depending on the business, is that you might want to operate solely under your own umbrella. And the choice of entity, usually the most common ways to form an actual corporation is either a corporation or an LLC. Then you break it down to whether you want an S Corp or a C Corp. Most people will, depending on the size of their business, will form an LLC. And usually, as I mentioned, the LLC is usually the best choice. It's less formality than a corporation. You can always change the LLC, change the name, change the members, versus with a corporation, you've got to actually file complete new papers. You got to do a whole bunch of other stuff. With an LLC that doesn't require any officers, it doesn't require any board meetings, and the LLC can be structured exactly like a corporation. If you want to file as a corporation, there's an additional form you file with the IRS, and you can actually file as a S corporation, even though your legal structure is an LLC. And you look at the units of ownership, is similar to someone owning stock in a company. Then some of the most common expenses while you want to set up a home-based business, you can actually deduct some of the expenses that you use in your everyday life. For example, you have business mile expense, where for this current year, you can deduct 57.5 cents per mile, which is a pretty good deduction. So if you're going to deliver maybe some of your products or conducting business, you can deduct some of those miles. You can also, you have a home office deduction. There is a simplified deduction where you can get up to $1,500, or you can take a look at the space of your house and you deduct up to 300 square feet of that square footage. So then you'll be able to deduct by percentage your mortgage and your utilities and some other expenses that you use every day in your everyday life. You can also pay someone to deduct some of your costs. So if you have kids, you can actually put them on your quote unquote payroll. And as long as you don't pay them up to $600, you don't have to report a 1099. So there's another way that you can deduct and create some deductions and some expenses you can claim. You can claim your travel expenses, food expenses, any supplies that you operate with your business, office expense, and any advertising. And, you know, you go buy some business cards or you create some flyers, and you might do a workshop where you provide some type of materials. All that stuff can be deductible. So, you know, it's to your advantage to look at some type of home-based business. And in most cases, they report your income. You either have a net income or you have net loss. And all that's reported on your Schedule C, on your regular personal income, if you have either an LLC or a sole proprietorship. And expenses, you know, you take your income, your gross income, minus out your expenses, and then whatever's left is what becomes a part of your adjusted gross income. Then that money is added to your Form 1040, and then you report it as ordinary income on your tax return. If you have a not-for-profit, you've got to put that money or report that on a Form 990 to the IRS. And this is a 1040. And if you look, the Schedule C, I'm sorry. If you look, there's the income, you report your income. Then there's a list of all the expenses that you can claim: advertising, car expenses, office expense, supplies, repairs, travel, food. And then you look at your income minus your expenses, and then that's reported. And in some cases, if you're just starting a business, you may have more expenses than income. And that's actually going to help you to reduce your taxable income. So, it's a good thing. And this is just a copy of the 1040 that you would file. And, you report your income in the appropriate place. And, you come down to what's your taxable income. And then this is just the 990, Form 990, which is if you decide to put together not-for-profit contributions and then expenses, and then you have the bottom line that you report. And then the next, we're going to transition and talk about the innovative patches. And I'm going to show you a quick video. Oops. Okay, just let me get the screen share.
Everything you know about nutrition is about to change. Introducing innovative patch technology. Radical science, dramatic performance, amazing results. This is the future of supplementation as we know it. Now, it's possible that you have seen patches before, but you've never seen one like this. Small and discreet, these patches use a completely new technology and are easy to use. Simply follow the directions and place the patch on the upper body above the heart. The special nanocarriers allow for enhanced penetration beyond the epidermis and into the dermis. This type of delivery can be a safer and preferred alternative to oral delivery. And because your body does not have to digest the supplement through the stomach, you get faster delivery and no product degradation in the acid of the stomach and intestines. Other patches on the market have very little active ingredient. At best, maybe 12 to 15 milligrams per patch. But because of the unique power of our innovative patch technology, we have the ability to condense and concentrate nutrients like never before. That means more active ingredients per square inch than have ever been seen. And unlike plastic patches out there, our nanotechnology patches are woven with a proprietary system which creates reservoirs on the patch, which increase the surface area. Even the adhesive we use is unique. Our one-of-a-kind adhesive holds a special accelerator that is activated by the body's heat and metabolism. No more pills, no more powders, no more awful-tasting liquids. The innovative patches are unique, simple to use, and no one will even know you're wearing them. We have currently developed 4 distinct patches. Energy, for a great sustained lift with no crash. Complete, our super powerful multi-spectrum multivitamin with omega-3s. Sleep, for a natural, calming, restful sleep. And the most talked about super nutrient in the world, CBD, made with pure THC-free hemp oil. No high, just amazing results the entire country is talking about. And because of our amazing flexible nanotechnology platform, we have the ability to create an almost unlimited variety of patches in the very near future. And best of all, we are the exclusive provider of these formulations in the entire direct selling and network marketing channels. That is why they are not only a great product, but also the beginning of an amazing business. Look, we know you are going to have a result, and we know people are going to notice. And when that happens, you can be the one that makes the sale, simply by sharing a link. The new innovative patches. Unique, different, amazing. Get yours now.
All right, all right.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for your time. And if there's any questions, we'll entertain them on my part at the end of the session. Thanks for your time, and I'll turn it over to my lovely cousin, Pam Banks.
Hey there, and thank you so much, Ron, for that presentation and that well-needed information. I hope many of you have taken notes and you have your questions at the end of this call. But you saw the video, it talked about the patches that we have. And in addition, since that we're growing so fast, not only are we presenting those 4 patches, I have 4 more to introduce you to, but I just wanted to really highlight a couple of patches that I think are so relevant right now and so needed. It's a necessity with our environment and all the COVID. We cannot talk about our patches is going to save the world and it's going to keep you from getting sick. But what I can say is that it will give your body the nutrition and the protection it needs to protect during this environment. And one of the things that I know I use daily, I use all the patches except for the children's patch. And that's the one I wanted to show you first off. You know, we used to cut the patches in half and I'd have grandkids. So they would get some of my immune patches, but now we have our own patches for our children, which I think is just a well-needed product that goes across the nation, whether you have kids, your uncle, your grandma, you have nieces and nephew, and with this environment, our precious uh, things that we have are our children. So it's just such a blessing to be able to have their very own patch made for them, teaching our kids about nutrition, letting them know that there's a better way to take care of them, their bodies, because let's just face it, kids are just not going to eat properly. They're not going to always eat the vegetables and the things that we give them. And not only that, even with us giving that, we all know that the nutrition in food is just depleted. The soil has been used over and over, so it loses its potency. So we really need to give our bodies those supplements to help patch up some things that are missing in our diet, and we can get them through a safe way, which is a new application that you can put on your skin. It goes through the largest part of your body, as you heard on the video. The delivery system is so much better. It's a safer way. You can just simply peel and stick that patch on. If it doesn't agree with you, you can always take it off, but I guarantee you, you will be back for more because they are so wonderful. And when you start feeling better, you'll find out how bad you really were feeling. And not only do the kids, we have to patch things up, these immune patches. I mean, these immune patches have all the things. Go try finding all the ingredients in this one patch alone. You will spend anywhere from $200 to $300 for your vitamin C, your zinc, the ginger, the turmeric, the garlic oil. It has everything that your body needs to give it the immune building mechanism to help defend your health. And not only for you, for your family. Like I said, I have from the womb to the tomb is what I call it. My mom, my parents are in their 80s. This is our go-to. This is our defense. This is our confident patch. I'm going to be traveling, and you best to believe I will be patched up with this confident patch. Now, we did talk about on the video, you talked about, we saw that we had the CBD, we had the vitamins, the sleep, and the energies. Those are all great patches. I would go into more, but we're going to have more Zoom and we will talk more into those. But the person that invited you to this line can always give you that information. We will definitely send you a copy of this video upon request. But some things that I think that I do want to introduce, since I said you saw the other 4 patches, the children's patch, the immune patch, and now we have one. And everybody, I don't know if you can see this real good. This is the Ignite. The Ignite patch is a 2-patch system that help for that unneeded fluff. I know since I've been inside, I got a little, I call it my COVID-19. That's that extra 19 pounds that found me. I did so well when we were going before lockdown, and since lockdown, I have become a little more fluffier. And so I'm just saying that right now, we need not only a defense for our health, but we need a defense for a better delivery system to not eat the junk. I have my grandkids here with the Zoom, and so you're exposed to a lot more junk food, and these patches are helping to resist and to give my body what it needs. It desires the right food. So I wanted to let you know about the Unite, and then to do that, you lose all that weight and you have this extra skin and your collagens and that youthful look. Some people can look saggy, but I'm telling you, we got something to help that saggy waggy. Infinite. Infinite is a collagen. It's a 2-patch system. It does the trick. We're gonna lose the weight and we're gonna tighten it up with our Infinite patch. So there's more to this. I have information that we can share in a video. The person that invited you to this line can also share with us videos. Please ask any questions, jot down your questions at the end of this presentation. We will be happy to answer all your questions. And so I just wanted to briefly, like I said, I'm just the commercial. I'm the commercial break between your tax benefits and how you can get paid immediately, give yourself a pay raise instantly by having a home-based business. And not only that, how about we have so many ways that we used to do fundraisers. There was a time, this is a time of year I will be doing my Kwanzaa events. I will be doing the Thanksgiving parade, and we're all locked in. So we have no way of really promoting and getting these events out. So we have to just reinvent how we're doing things. And that's through these Zooms. And we're going to talk more about ways that you too, if you have a fundraiser or a cause or a church organization, and you're just not able to do those help fairs and do those t-shirt sales or the chocolate candy sales, how about we give our community and our family a healthier way to raise money and give them the nutrition that's going to help them? Instead of stuffing our stockings with candy, how about stuffing it with some nutrition? How about helping those that are struggling with their weight and their health? We have what you need here, and it's a great way to do a fundraiser. And with that being said, I want to make sure you understand about the fundraiser. On this line, we have Cynthia Sly. She's going to break it down how you too can make this a transition on how we do things. We talked about doing fundraisers in a healthy and safe environment, not only for your causes, but for businesses. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pass the mic to Cynthia Sly. Are you out there, Cynthia?
I am, Pam. Can you hear
Okay.
me okay?
Yes, I can hear you. So Cynthia will fill us in and then we'll open it up for questions. Go ahead, Cynthia.
Well, great presentation. Every time I see the presentation, I see more and more great slides. You guys, I tell you, it just doesn't get any better than this. You saw all the benefits of a home-based business. You saw the cash flow quadrant, where it shows that it's more lucrative to be on that right side of the cash flow quadrant than, on that left side. You guys, 95% of the people have a job, right? But guess what? 95% of the wealth is owned by 5% that are on that right side of the cash flow quadrant. I know it's hard to even comprehend a lot of, what we're learning because, we have been conditioned to think, go to school, get a degree, get a high paying job, and, life is going to be great. But a lot of times, it's just not the case. It's just not the case. And as Ron was going through all the different types of businesses and so on and so forth, I tell you what, that can make your head hurt. It really can make your head hurt trying to figure out, which way you should structure your business and all of this. But guess what? Wonder if there was a simple way that you could start working towards getting, and moving towards that right side of that cash flow quadrant. You guys, guess what? It's network marketing. It's direct sales. While you're trying to figure out whether you should have an S Corp, a LLC, whatever the case may be, network marketing, for less than, $100, most of the time you can get involved in network marketing. And while you're trying to figure things out, you can become a sole proprietor, initially, with network marketing, because, it's a turnkey system. And 9 times out of 10, that particular company that you're joining has everything set up for you. And so you guys, I tell you what, Robert Kiyosaki himself said, you know what? Network marketing is the perfect business. Low startup costs, low to no overhead. I mean, you just can't beat it. And you guys, if you are a W-2 employee, the good news about that is that if you start a home-based business, you guys, you can immediately give yourself a pay raise on your full-time job. You saw all of those expenses, that the government allows you to write off. Well, you guys, that's like you, overnight have independence when you make the decision to become a business owner. So there is no, bad end of the stick here. You know, even if, you know, you're kind of slow at getting out the gate of building your business and acquiring customers and building a team, you're already ahead of the game just from a tax perspective. And so I'm just so excited about this because you guys, 25 years ago, this is how I stumbled upon this industry. You know, I was straight out of college, landed a pretty decent job, but guess what? I had no assets. I had no dependents. And I'm telling you, half of my paycheck was going into taxes. And I tell you, it was at that job that I ran into a co-worker, or actually she ran into me. And she told me about a home-based business. And, you know, she, you know, showed me the product. I ended up buying some of the product. But what caught my attention is when she was flipping that flip chart, talking about her product and talking about, you know, the benefits. And there was a bullet point about tax advantages. And I was like, what is that about? She said, talk to your tax professional, but immediately you can give yourself a pay raise. All you have to do is go to your human resources department and change your allowances on your W-4. You know, if you're claiming 0, you may want to claim 3 for your business. And so I talked to my tax professional, and he like Ron, said, oh, absolutely. A home-based business qualifies for tax deduction. And so you guys, I made that one little adjustment and my paycheck went up $300 to $400. That was before I sold anything. That was before I had a team. And so, you guys, this is exciting information. And so I got so excited about that. I thought that was the coolest magic trick in the world. And so I went around town on a part-time basis showing people this magic trick. And I tell you what, people were joining my team left and right. And on a part-time basis, a year and a half later, you guys, I fired my boss. And I have been an entrepreneur for 25 plus years. Yes, I've been an entrepreneur, you know, with the home-based business, you know, model. Plus, I have a traditional business, you know. And so, you guys, I'm telling you right now, if you are not, you know, a business owner, if you don't have a system working for you, where you're leveraging a system, or you're not an investor, where you're leveraging your money, where your money is working for you, then you need to get back with the person who invited you to this Zoom and say, hey, I need to get my questions answered, because I tell you what, this thing is mind blowing. It doesn't make any sense how, you know, things that you're already doing can become tax write-offs. That car that you're driving, you can, you know, write off, you know, a mileage. You saw what the percentage was. You know, that cell phone that you're making calls on, guess what? It can become a tax write-off. You know, that business trip, okay? You can write off portions of that business trip. You know, if you're going, you know, to visit family and friends, and you pack your patches with you because you're going to be sharing, you know, the information with them. And so, you guys, I'm telling you, this information that we're giving to you tonight is life changing. There is no downside to this. I tell you what, it will definitely have you moving in the right direction, you know, getting on the right side of that cash flow quadrant. And if you are a, you know, a business owner already, or if you are looking for a fundraiser, if you are a church, a school, you got a cause, or an individual, you guys, there's no better way to raise funds this season than with our immune patches. Everybody is looking to boost their immune. So you can get back with the person who invited you to this call, and you can partner with them and be what we call an angel, where you partner together and you give them, you know, referrals, and any patches that are sold, you get a percentage, your organization, your cause, your school. And like Pam said, there's no better fundraiser right now. you know, forget the chocolate, forget the, you know, magazines and everything else that kids be selling and fundraisers and everything. Let's have something where it can be a win-win situation. They can support the cause as well as support their own healthy initiative. And so get back with them. And hey, you may have a big reach, you may have a big church that you want to raise funds for, and you may decide you want to do this fundraiser yourself. And our company, you guys, are giving away 5 bonuses for the top 5 fundraisers. Whether, you know, you're raising it together with the person who invited you to this call and y'all split up the money, or you may want to enter yourself and be a promoter. The first prize is $10,000. How's that for a fundraiser? Then there's a $8,000, a $6,000, a $4,000, and a $2,000. So get back with the person who invited you to this Zoom, and let's, you know, start making strides to the right side of that cash flow quadrant. You guys, you know, look up Robert Kiyosaki, look up cash flow quadrant, look up Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And I tell you what, just like it did for me 25 years ago, it can change your life. So back to you, Pam.
All right. So you guys, you heard the excitement and the opportunity that's been presented. We are excited that you came to this line. We're so thankful that you took time out. I know it's late on the East Coast, but we really appreciate you chiming in. And at this time, we want to give you opportunity. Do you have any questions? Maybe you want to ask a little bit more details. You have a tax question, you have a product question, you have a fundraiser question. This would be the time to go ahead and ask those questions. So please unmute your mic and go ahead and ask that question. Who has a question? Anybody? And if you just
I know.
unmute your, go ahead.
This is Faith in Baltimore. I don't have a question. I think that Ron did a great job and trying to, you know, understand all those different business models. But, you know, the basic thing to understand is like what Cynthia was saying, it's a tax deduction. That's a start. Wrap your mind around that. You know, that other stuff will come later, but just that it's a tax deduction if you can, you know, when you can get started.
Yeah, that's right. You know, just knowing the power that you have just by signing up as a promoter. You know, you put yourself in the seat of savings. You put yourself in a seat of you know, returning and taking charge of your finances. So I can't think of a better way. Like I don't know if I mentioned it, but I worked a traditional job for 37 years. And I'm gonna tell you, when they are finished with you, they'll shake your hand and thank you, ma'am, and there you go. You know, so having the freedom, the time freedom to be able and to be able to give back, you know, pay forward, as we would say, give back. I know how I benefit from just using the product, being a product of the product, and then being able to share with the community, share with my family, and see their progress and the success stories. We didn't even do the testimonies. If we even did that, I mean, it is what it is. We have what you need, and we are here as a support for one another. We are one big happy family, and we are here to help you build and be successful as well. So are
Excuse
there
me,
any
Pam.
other statements? Go
Stella
ahead.
has a question. She's raised her hand.
Okay, go ahead,
I don't know if
Stella.
you could see it.
No,
Okay.
let me see. Go
I
ahead.
really have a question that I just had kind of wanted to piggyback on Faith, is that once I retired, I had less write-offs as far as taxes was concerned. And
Mhm.
having a home-based business has allowed me to write off a certain portion of my house, as well as Ron was telling us about, you know, you can if your mileage on your car, you know, taking, well, I do kids, so I pick them up from school and I take some of them, I take them to school and I might drop them off to a doctor's appointment, something like that with their mothers. So all that I can write off. So being that I am retired and I needed some write-offs once I retired, this business and has been really good for me. So I always look for MLMs for that reason.
That's a very, very good point, Stella. Thank you for sharing, because that is the goal. Right now, we really got to rethink our thinking. And it is not always easy, but it is a necessity that you get yourself lined up and get yourself ready. Because even with me, some of you don't know my story. I've been off on disability for about 4 years now. And you can't even depend on that. I paid my taxes. I did everything I was supposed to do. And just because a paper error, or, one doctor says one thing and there, boom, my whole pay for 3 months, I had to struggle. And the thing that got me through is having a home-based business. I was able to put gas in my car, my medical, those residual weekly in our company paid weekly, and that's what's so phenomenal about our comp plan. It's a weekly payout. Also, bonus payouts, residual income payout. We have so many ways that you can really earn. And with the fundraiser, I mean, just getting customers, you're going to build from there, just sharing. You may not get to 10,000, you might get to 2,000. It's so simple. Just shoot for that 4K. And we can tell you more about that. Continue to plug into these Zooms. We will go over in more details. The person that invited you to this line can give you more details. And of course, we'll be happy to answer any other questions. Do we have any other questions out there before we?
I just had one more thing, 2 things to say. One thing is, I listened to Ron several times talk about his hip surgery and how he was able to manage that without, taking the narcotics and everything. Right. And I had my ankle surgery on October 21st. I think I took narcotics for 2 days, but ever since then, I wear my CBD patch and I've been pain free. So I can't wait to go back to the doctor on December the 2nd to take this cast off my leg. Okay. The other thing is, I was listening to a Zoom on Tuesday night, and the lady was saying the CBD patch, it helped her some, but not totally to what she needed. But she found out when she added the complete and the CBD, she got the relief that she was looking for, that she hadn't gotten in years and years and years. So my sister used the CBD patch, and it helped her some, but she ordered twice, but she hasn't ordered again. So I'm going to go back to her and tell her maybe if she does a combo, she may reach that point, because the doctors are still trying to get her to get a nerve block, which ain't a good idea.
No,
I'd like to just mention that, I am a promoter as well, and I use the CBD. So I kind of think of it as I'm writing off my pain this year. I'm purchasing the patches and I'm writing off the pain. So if you look at it that way, there's a benefit to the pain and also the pain of the IRS. So you don't get it any better.
Right, a win-win situation.
Right off that pain.
Right, and that's the beauty of this. We have products that is very useful as bringing relief to pain sufferers, to families that, even Ron, when you talked about how, you're not even having to take the blood pressure medicines and things of that nature. I know one day my mom will get on here, she's tapered on. I mean, they had her on about 12 different medications, and now she's tapered down to just maybe 3 or 4. So it is a benefit. And to have a fundraiser to give something that's going to benefit not only your family, but other families that are in desperate need. They're looking for us out there. And we have to be more of a out there, sounding the alarm, not being a secret agent and holding a secret sauce. We need to spread the secret sauce, and it spread some love. And you share because you care. I know that's what I do. And after coming out of being in pain, suffering, and getting relief, how do you hold that back? So get back with the people or the person.
Can I share something?
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
Hi, this is Van. I just also wanted to thank my guest, Mr. Jeffrey, for jumping on. But about the tax breaks, which I took advantage of a couple of years ago, being in network marketing, I know my girlfriends would be like, if you bring them products to this restaurant one more time. So I would be able to write off my bills, as far as the dinner was concerned, because I was talking about business, being at the restaurant. So I just wanted to share that.
Well, thank you so much for sharing, and welcome to the call, Mr. Jeffrey. I'm glad you joined us, and I hope that you benefit and that you heard some information that's going to help you make a choice, and you won't be sad, you won't be disappointed. Continue talking with Van. Van will be here for you along with the rest of us. So, is there any more questions that needs to be asked her? Someone wants to say something.
Excuse me, Pam, this is Stella.
Okay, go ahead.
I would like to recognize my guests, my cousins, Lord and Rhonda Lucas from Riverside, California. So on the call with
Ooh, California.
Welcome, welcome.
Welcome. Thank you for joining the call. That is so, and I'm here in California, right in Palmdale. We're neighbors. We'll cross that 138. So if you need anything, I'm here. I'm local. I will help Stella, work with her, and just let us know how we can help you make that choice and maintain a healthy, wealthy lifestyle. So I'm so excited you came to the line. Thank you for joining the call. Do we have any other visitors that may want to say something or have a question? Just hit the mic and unmute yourself so we can hear you. Okay. Well, with that being said, then we just want to thank each and every one of you for joining this Zoom. It's been a pleasure hosting this. I really enjoy this time with you, and we just pray and hope that you have a blessed holiday season. And remember, we've got to patch it up and share what we have. Don't be a secret agent. I know in California was shut down, but tools like this, doing Zooms, let's have a Zoom party, a turkey Zoom party. Use your creative juices and get back to us and let us help you promote, especially if you have a fundraiser. We're here to work with you. So thank you so much for joining the call. Ron, Cynthia, do you guys have any final words before we end this call? No? All right then. So everybody,
good job.
Yeah, good
All
night.
right.
Have a good night and
All right,
happy
good.
holiday.
Hey,
Happy holidays. Good
Good
night,
night.
everyone.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Patchy.
Yeah.
Patchy.
Okay.
Good
Tap,
night.
Night.
tap. All right.
Take
Good
charge.
night. Good
Talking
night.
about the-
Faith.
Yes.
Good night.
Good
Good night,
night.
all.
Good night.
And
Good night.
slap it real good.
Ron.
Real good. Happy Patchy night.
And it's been
Did you say,
recorded, you
Jeffrey?
guys, so we'll get the recording to you.
Slap it real good.
All right, that's the end of the call. That's how we end it.
All right.
Y'all.
Good night.
Have a
Okay,
good one.
Thank you,
bye.
Ron.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Night.